Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam keluarga Malaysia, sihat sejahtera. Professor Dr. Khairy, President of the Malaysian Society of Wound Care Professionals and also the Chairman of the ASEAN Council. Datuk Sri Abdul Ghani, CEO of MySEP, Div, Hormat tuan-tuan dan puan yang saya hormati sekalian. Pertamanya saya merakamkan ucapan ribuan terima kasih kepada Malaysian Society of Wound Care Professionals atas jemputan untuk saya merasmikan Asian and Third Global Wound Conference 2021. Sesungguhnya saya rasa agak gembira hari ini kerana kali terakhir saya datang ke sini, ke Sunway Convention Center, Dewan ini adalah pusat pemberian vaksin. Kali terakhir saya berada di dalam Dewan ini, mungkin tuan-tuan dan puan ada tengok video yang tular, saya kena jerit dan marah di situ. Ada seorang datang dengan bapa dia, tiba-tiba tak ada appointment, dia nampak menteri, dia bagi betul-betul. But I'm happy today because it's a conference now. And that was only a few months ago. And I think we've come very, very far. Ini adalah hasil daripada kerjasama semua pihak. I know Sunway gave us this hall either at a very, very low price or free for us to operate it as a PPV. A lot of convention centers gave us their exhibition halls for very, very low costs because it was a national agenda for us to vaccinate as many people as possible. Alhamdulillah, hari ini we have one of the best vaccination programs in the world. More than 95% of adults have been fully vaccinated. Almost 90% of our teenagers from the ages of 12 to 17 have been fully vaccinated. And we are preparing to vaccinate also children soon, so that everyone will be safe from SARS-CoV-2 and COVID-19. But of course, vaccinations alone are not enough. We have to reopen safely. And I'm here today not just to honor the Asian and Third Global Wound Conference and honor the invitation from Professor Khairy, but I've come here today as a sign of confidence. As a sign of confidence that the Health Minister is attending a conference in a conference hall with however many hundred people there are here, and this is being done in a safe way. This is being done in a way that is measured, calibrated, all of us adhering to the SOPs, because as a country and the whole world, we need to move on and we need to move forward, but carefully. And that's what we've been doing. We monitor the situation on a daily basis. We see where the threats are. We try to model what will happen over the next few days, few weeks. We guard our borders carefully. I know that he wants more business travelers to come here, more convention travelers to come here. We will do that, but one step at a time. One step at a time. We've opened the vaccinated travel lane with Singapore, and that's been very, very successful. I've held off a little bit on other vaccinated travel lanes for the next couple of weeks because of the new developments with the variant of concern, Omicron. Once we know better about Omicron's transmissibility, its virulence, its vaccine escape or the vaccine effectiveness towards this variant, then we are in a better situation to look at what the next steps are for Malaysia. Of course, as you all know, yesterday I announced that through the good work done by the Institute of Medical Research, we detected our first case of Omicron, which came into the country on the 19th of November. And that was before WHO had declared Omicron as a variant of concern on the 24th of November. What we basically did was something proactive. We went back and checked all the positive cases from the 11th to the 28th of November at KLIA to see whether or not anyone had come in with a VOC. And after the good work that IMR did in sequencing the genomic data of the case, our contact tracers kicked in. We checked. We made sure that this lady who came in, a student, she complied with everything, pre-departure testing, on-arrival testing, fully vaccinated, and she stayed at home. She didn't leave her apartment where she was quarantining for 10 days. So this, and I said yesterday, let's not panic. One, we don't know enough about this variant. Yes, we must be vigilant. Yes, we must continue to look at the data, especially from countries which are reporting high community spread, like South Africa, and they've been great in sharing data. And we also have to ensure that our measures are tightened, but not tightened to the extent where it disrupts ordinary life, it disrupts our reopening, and it disrupts the economy. Now, what we need to do is to balance very carefully the need for public health measures, the need to ensure that we continue to reduce the transmissions in our country, as well as continue to commit ourselves to reopening safely for the sake of our economy, for the sake of our mental health, for the sake of getting our children back to school. And of course, in the news over the last few days, in some schools with positive cases. But the good thing is, the students were almost all vaccinated and very, very mild symptoms. So we will continue. We will continue to calibrate our measures to ensure that we can reduce the risk to people in school settings, in institutional settings, at the workplace. And I think this conference is not just important for wound management, but also it's important to demonstrate that we can continue to adapt to a new normal, not perhaps the old normal, but adapt to a new normal which is safe and which allows us to move forward in our recovery. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to be here to officiate the Asian and Third Global Wound Conference 2021. Today's event, of course, is an international conference on wounds with the involvement of numerous Asian countries with the support of the Asian Wound Care Association. Having this conference both physically and virtually with participants from all over shows how significant proper wound care is in our daily lives. It has been nearly 2 years since COVID-19 hit us. Vaccines have become key in ensuring the reopening safely of our borders and our economy. Although our vaccination rate, as I mentioned earlier, is very high, and now we are rolling out the booster doses. For those of you who haven't received the booster yet, when you get your appointment, please go and get your booster. If you're worried that you get a booster that's not the same as your primary series, don't worry. I took Sinovac as my primary series, I took Pfizer as my booster, I'm okay. And although the vaccination program is successful, the boosters are coming along well, with the emergence of new variants, we must never ever be complacent. The new norms must continue to be incorporated in our daily lives, and hybrid conferences like this is certainly the way forward until we feel more confident in allowing for more visitors to come back into our country. The right to quality healthcare is something no one should be deprived of. Wound care is a key aspect of healthcare as it requires, of course, very high levels of commitment from healthcare workers. The spectrum of patients ranges from infants to the elderly, from acute wounds such as trauma, surgical wounds, to chronic wounds such as pressure ulcers, vascular or diabetic ulcers. The range is, of course, as you all know, tremendous. It requires a comprehensive and holistic approach involving various disciplines across the healthcare system. The synchronization between these numerous disciplines and having a strategic approach in caring for these wounds is, of course, the key to success and something your profession continues to enhance for the patient's outcome. When we help wounds to heal, and of course we ease